Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Test, test, test. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
You know what I call a good day? One that ends without an empty stomach.
Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, testing, testing. Test, test, test.
Yes?
1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. What the fuck is his deal? Test, test, test. Da da da. Test, 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 test. Ooh, there's lots of people in here. All 2 of you. Test, test, test. Test, testing, testing. Test, test, test. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, just give you a quick tour of this place. I am trying to try to use the microphone and see how it goes. Probably gonna suck, but we'll try it. So you saw in the first video, the mic wasn't turned on, that's my bad. But in the first video you saw all the scrap, all the cars and tires and everything that was in the way. Essentially, there's a scrap house, you know, so we got rid of the whole scrap house. Now I can build this big structure. I have beds. I got power fan in here, so they're nice and cool. They don't care, but I put it in there. Stuff like that isn't necessarily, doesn't add to the happiness of the town. You know, lots of generators here. We got generators. This generator powers all the house lights and basic like TV, radio, those sorts of needs. Powers all of the houses all the way around. And then I have another generator on the other side here that kind of catches these 3 middle guys. Defense, I like to put turrets around most of everything just because I have mods on now, so I can do that sort of thing. Keep everything safer. Huge water purifiers, so you have lots of water. Farm, obviously. Another house that got scrapped for a structure. Gonna do some run through real quick here. One of the settlers looks like they're set up for defense. They have a gun. Nice little outpost there. Here's my house for reference. So before the war, this was, you know, obviously a nice normal house. Then it had scrap and junk everywhere. Now I have it set up. Nice and comfy. Looks like a real house. This is the original scavenging station. Or not scavenging, but, you know, like the work where you build everything. Started building upwards. Noticed that in a lot of videos. People are building structures on top of these houses. Didn't think about that until now, which is really helpful. Can fit more people here. Sky view of the farm. So you can kind of see the big difference between all the scrap you clean up. Built a little marketplace for everybody. That adds a huge amount of happiness. Then you have, 21 people here, 50 food. So every harvestable, item here is essentially, that's half a food. The mutt fruit, that's a whole food. So there's, between all that there's 50 pieces of food for the people here. Water, 93, because I have, 40, and 10, plus a few water spouts laying around. Power, just based off of the generators, what you can support and how many generators you have is what the power number's rated off of. Defense, everything's different. All of these produce a certain amount of defense. Beds, obviously, 33 beds. 33 beds, 21 people. 84 happiness, they are down for some reason. 5 minutes ago they were up, now they're down. That's a lounge that I built. Break a leg. So these sorts of things do add some small happiness. It went up like 5 points after building this. See, few people, the same 2 people use it. They're just here having a milkshake. Nice little cool guy lounge I built here. Yeah, so you have, this is the easiest place to develop because it's the most, set up, the most structured. And then you have places like, see if I can, you have places like, where is it? Here. Places like this, where I set up, defense everywhere, just because it's so wide open. They're so prone to attack, it's ridiculous. This is just a drive-in theater, obviously. So I took all the scrap cars out of it, and now it's basically a town. They have plenty of water. The puddles of water like this don't go away, so you could put these huge water pumps in there. It's kind of funny. There's your farm. Try to get you a sky view. I don't know what these nerds keep leaving town for. Their problem is build them a nice town and they just want to run away.
It's as simple as that.
So yeah, nice little sky view of everything. Used to be cars, now it's a little town. Then there's really goofy places like some of these settlements up here are kind of dumb. Is it Green Top? Slog is okay. There's one I built that's kind of in the middle of everything. That place is ridiculous. It's only ridiculous because it doesn't make any sense why it's even a place. It's literally like smack dab in the middle of the worst stuff. Can't really find it at the moment. This one is kind of goofy. Wasn't like a lot I could do with it, you know, because you're... So essentially that's your green line, right? Like you can build outwards. Obviously I could go up high as I want. But that's your green line. And the land is so, you know, angled. You're on top of a hill. It's hard to really know what to build. A little overkill on them defense. But these three people seem to get kidnapped all the time. I'm constantly coming back here like, oh, they were kidnapped by raiders. Ugh. How the hell do you get kidnapped when you're surrounded by 1,000 turrets? You can't, if you don't have water pumps or a puddle of water to stick a pump in, you just put one of these guys in there, little dirt pump, and that produces water. So then, you know, I gave them a large enough farm for them to handle. Then they have a... Oh, come on now. Then they have beds. I don't know where... Oh, the third bed. Third and fourth beds are over there. They got 4 beds. They're fine. Let's see if I can find one more. These are all over the entire map. Like there's... Like that one. Well, that one wasn't very cool. This is another one that keeps getting raided all the time. Not a favorite. Do not particularly care for this one. Again, very goofy setup, you know. Structure of the land is kind of hard to maneuver. I gave him a radio, you know, like you can farm and listen to the radio. Gave him a store. These people should be more than happy. Gave them a friggin' lounge and they're too stupid to use the stairs. They don't understand stairs for reasons. Yeah, they don't get it. I think I'm gonna have to restructure this, I think, a little bit so they stop just pinning themselves against the stairs. Might just flip this whole thing around. Build it up that way. Build it away from that house versus in front of it. I suppose that's the real problem here. But again, you know, this is how big, this is how big that whole area is, so you're kind of, you know, they're not happy. There's 13 people here, and they're not happy because, well, probably it's too small. So, I don't know. I might have to get creative if I ever decide to care. I mean, 63 is pretty good when you consider what you have. Like I said, they're surrounded by turrets because they're constantly being raided. So that's what you get. So, like, follow, comment, subscribe. You know the drill.
Hurts, my feet hurt, everything hurts.
You're about to not to feel nothing. All better. Took care of that.